look, not only does he not take any questions, he's not taking any prisoners. He's not going to give up anything. He's going to get as many of his enemies as he possibly can. He's cleaning out the Defense Department or any place else he can get his hands on. And he just refuses to do to accept the well, he accepts Biden's victory. But keep in mind, the president has still a wonderful legacy. I mean, professional historians like myself might even come to the conclusion, yes, he colluded with the Russians and he was just, Russia's amiable fool or something like that. But keep in mind, Laura, that this man has shown 73 million Americans how to attack the elites. I mean, he did something for them they couldn't do before. They couldn't get to anybody. So he's not going to give up any positions, etc. I saw a phrase the other day from World War II. It's called civilian saboteur. It was OSS in Britain explaining to people in France how they could blow up places on their way out the door, or they booby trap places. And civilian saboteur, that's kind of what the president's doing. He's booby trapping Washington on the way out the door. And he's going to be around for a while. He's going to make a lot of noise. He said if you vote for Biden, you're voting for Obama's third term. And I've looked very carefully at Obama's national security team. And it's like the old softball team is back. It is Obama 3.0, no doubt about it in my mind. Everybody on that team, from National Security Advisor and the Secretary of State and everybody else, worked for either Clinton or Hillary as Secretary of State or as Biden. So he's brought the team back together. It's a very diversified team. And one of Biden's first messages to the American people was, don't go anywhere for Thanksgiving. So what do? They all went somewhere for Thanksgiving, which shows you that you can't really blame the president if people are too stupid to wear their masks. So, I think the president's going to do a little bit more damage on the way out the door. And I think we're going to be looking for a few more pardons.
As you say, Joe Biden looks like he's getting the band back together from the old Obama administration.
Yes. Good way to put it.
This shows that Joe Biden perhaps is treating Donald Trump as, an historical mistake. Is that a mistake in itself? Still, 70+ million people voted for Donald Trump.
Well, it is a mistake. If you monitor the American media, the MSNBC and the cable news, except for Fox, it's quite clear they think this guy is gone forever. Like he's leaving town, they're just going to disinfect the White House, and life goes on. This is a big mistake, and they're all kind of kicking him out the door, and they're being very abusive. Be careful who you fire, who you run out of town, because you might see them again. No, it is a mistake, and when Biden says to the American people, we have free and fair elections and all the rest of it. Look, Laura, it's about numbers. If you have enough electoral votes, you win. If you have enough people in the House of Representatives, you impeach the president. And American politics it's not very brainy. It's like Australian politics. If you got the number, you're the leader, and if you don't have a number, you're going out the door until you have numbers again. And so as soon as the House of Representatives got the number, they impeached this guy, even though they couldn't win in the Senate because the Senate had the numbers for Republicans. So a lot of people have done some really gross miscalculations about Trump. Yeah. They just think he's going to go away, but he's like that kind of stain on a white shirt. Ain't going anywhere.
Yep, some people in Washington aren't very good at maths, that's for sure. Joe Siracusa, before we let you go, Trump has threatened to stay around. We even hear through some of his closest advisors that he might have another crack in 2024. But this is a problem for the Republicans too, isn't it? How do they move on from someone like Donald Trump? He lingers large and looms large still over Washington. And, you can't get another leader that can use his playbook on the Republican side. So they've got a bit of soul searching to do too, don't they? Well,
yes. Look, they love what this guy was able to do for them at the end. In this last election, they rode his coattails. I mean, Trump didn't win himself, but these other people did well. The Senate held their ground. The senators held their ground in the Senate, and the House of Representatives has a gain for the Republicans. I mean, they owe their careers to Donald Trump, even though he did not succeed at this time. So they have some kind of loyalty to him. And, very soon he's going to have his streaming service. Like other people do when they leave lucrative jobs and they want people to know who they are. And he's going to be in charge of the base. He's got at least 20, 30 million people listen to everything he has to say. And he's going to be making careers as he goes ahead. Look, if you can't be the king, you could be the kingmaker. And that's what Donald Trump's going to do. I mean, if his health holds up, for me, the greatest surprise of Donald Trump's last 4 years is this guy gets the coronavirus and he's back campaigning in 10 days. How do you explain that? There's something about this guy that's very mysterious. He comes back from a deadly disease in 10 days. He's kind of like Zorro. He's just there. And so he continues to surprise people, even though people think they've had enough of him.